Think about public transportation in San Diego and you think about buses and trolleys. Because that's what we've got.
But there is a public transit platform that supporters say has a lot of promise. In fact, we already use it for tourists and recreators at the zoo. It's called a gondola.
The first inspiration I ever had was a zoo. I was looking at the zoo ride, and I was thinking, you know what, if we just kept going across the freeway to 6th Avenue and went downtown.
County Supervisor Ron Roberts soon saw the gondola as a practical way to transport people over San Diego's crowded and hilly landscape. And the San Diego Zoo was the spark.
And then that set the wildfire in my mind that we got to do this.
Gondolas ride on an aerial cable slung along a series of towers. When a gondola car reaches a station, it temporarily disengages from the cable so riders can get off and on.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Roberts, who has been on the board of San Diego's transit system for decades, says the argument for gondolas, which he prefers to call skyways, comes down to cost and environmental impact.
Number one, the cost of the system compared to the trolley it's a fraction of the trolley.
A feasibility report on a 2-mile gondola line proposed between downtown and Balboa Park put the cost of it at $65 million. Yes, that is a lot less than a trolley. Advantage number 2, a gondola's light touch on the urban environment.
You don't have to acquire right away. You don't have to compete on the streets. You're up in the sky, so you kind of have a free environment to deal with.
With a gondola, the only terrestrial footprint are the towers you build to hold the suspension cable or to support an aerial station.
You know, wherever you've got grade and you got freeways and you got other things that you have to cross or you got a lot of traffic, it's a good way. Fly over it.
In San Diego, planners say gondolas would make short connections linking places on a trolley line to places that are only 1 or 2 miles away. Downtown to Balboa Park and Mission Valley to Hillcrest have been suggested. Up in Oregon, a gondola-like tramway connects the 2 Portland campuses of Oregon Health Sciences University. The university was developing a new campus about a dozen years ago, and they needed to connect it to the main campus about a mile away and 500 feet up a hill.
So we looked at, funiculars and gondolas and tramways. They looked at different train options up the hillside.
Today, the Portland Aerial Tramway carries 10,000 passengers a day, and the system costs $2 million a year to operate. Dodson says it's a good price.
When you can move 10,000 riders over a day and not have any vehicles to do that, it's a huge benefit.
So why have gondolas not taken off as public transit in San Diego? Supporters bemoan the fact that nobody takes them seriously. They're ski lifts, they're for tourists. Also, gondolas do cost money, and not everybody is convinced they're what San Diego commuters need.
Nicole Capritz, executive director of the Climate Action Plan in San Diego, is a strong advocate for public transit. She's not a fan of gondolas.
It's kind of a fancy new bright and shiny object, but at the same time, we need to be focusing on solutions that we already know work and that fit, are tailored to San Diego. We need to make those work before we explore kind of these theoretical, conceptual ideas.
The shortage of political support for gondolas was seen last year. That's when Roberts, also the chairman of the San Diego Association of Governments, removed funding for gondolas from Measure A, the ballot initiative to raise taxes to pay for transportation. He said, quote, "It was best to remove the Skyway funding to improve Measure A's chances." In the end, Roberts' move was irrelevant. Measure A still failed to get the 2/3 majority it needed to pass. Today, Roberts is still upbeat about finding funding for gondolas.
The federal government has grants for projects, smaller projects that are innovative. California right now has got this incredible effort going on. What do we do on greenhouse gas? They've got a pile of money.
That said, a gondola for San Diego may need a new political champion. Roberts will give up his chairmanship of Sandag at the end of this year, and he'll be termed out of his county supervisor seat at the end of 2018. Tom Fudge, KPBS News.